Caleb.
And welcome to the Transcript.
This week, Quiara sat down with students and staff to discuss the crew coffee cart.
Hamped Up looks into the new MIAA format and its effect on new district tournaments.
Nico and Tucker review the big drops in fashion this month.
And Katie and Jayme go behind the scenes of Heartstrings magazine.
Tune in to the end of the episode for some important reminders.
Virginia Governor Ralph Northam has signed a bill banning the controversial practice of conversion therapy for minors, according to a release from his office this past Tuesday. A court in Belgium ruled last week that Facebook has been illegally collecting user data. It demands that the social media giant stop collecting data on Belgians or face daily fines between $300,000 and $1 million. The court mandated that Facebook delete all the data it has gathered on users and non-users by placing cookies and invisible pixels on third-party websites. Facebook denied doing anything illegal, saying that the methods used were the industry standard. The orangutan population has decreased by half since 1999. A study published in Current Biology last week and detailed in the Washington Post estimated that more than 100,000 of the apes have died between 1999 and 2015. They cited human proximity, deforestation, and killings for reasons as the decline.
Hola, mi nombre es Colin Evans y esto es un evento especial para el Transcript. On Friday, NHS held our Bachata event, hoping to expose our students to Bachata, a type of folk music and dance from the Dominican Republic. Bachata is quickly gaining international popularity as an alternative to salsa. Second period, actually, we focus on teaching our students the Bachata, and four was to show off our new moves and to the live music in the auditorium. We spoke with some of our performers and musicians who came to teach us the Bachata.
Wow, si eso es tan bello, podemos compartirlo con todo el mundo entero porque es como algo como lo sentimos, es como algo feliz y esa felicidad queremos como transmitirla a las otras personas y por eso lo compartimos.
Nosotros queremos compartir este género porque queremos dar a conocer la cultura dominicana y queremos que las personas conozcan lo que es vivir momentos mágicos a través de la música y de la bachata.
No solamente es bachata, no solamente es el ritmo típico de tu país, sino en general. Música. Hay que escuchar, explorar nuevos, por así decirlo, nuevos horizontes. Nuevo horizonte. Ir más allá de lo común. No quedarte estancado en una cosa. Siempre ir por más.
So were you out there stepping in during the assembly? Head on over to Devil's Advocate NHS and share your videos to a chance to be on the Transcript.
So we decided to do the coffee cart because we wanted to find an exciting alternative way to be teaching a lot of academics and life skills and pre-vocational skills for a lot of our students. And we used to do a lot of cooking and decided that that was a good route to take.
So we'll use the money to replenish supplies. We are using mugs and linen napkins so that we can reduce waste. So the mugs are glass, they will get washed by the students and replaced, and the linen napkins will be washed.
So we're just going to ask that as soon as you're done with your mug and your linen and your spoon, there's going to be bins set up in the teacher's lounge or other places throughout the school which will let you know. And if you can just put it in there, the students will come over and collect it. We just wanted to say a special thank you to all the teachers and staff that are supporting us along the way and been helping us with putting all this coffee cart together.
I feel happy about the coffee cart, and then I'll make coffee. I'm great.
Very good job.
Good.
Very good coffee cup.
Good about their coffee cart.
Tea. Tea.
Tea.
We run in a coffee cart because we want to deliver coffee to the teachers.
Hot chocolate.
Tea.
Milk, sugar,
Some goodies on the bottom.
Donuts or muffin.
coffee.
Welcome to Hamped Up.
Y'all ready for this?
Last Friday, representatives from various districts around Massachusetts voted 193 to 140 in favor of a new format for MIAA postseason play, effectively eliminating district tournaments like Western Mass Championships and creating one big state tournament. We sat down with Kara Sheridan, vice principal at Northampton High School, and representative for the Pioneer Valley at the MIAA meeting.
Starting in the fall of 2021, the tournament will shift from sectional tournaments that lead to the state semifinals and finals to a more of a statewide tournament. I voted to support the shift in the tournament structure with the expectation that we would be able to maintain a Western Mass tournament prior to the state tournament happening. I'm worried about maintaining the Western Mass Championship traditions. If that wasn't a part of this proposal, the flexibility to include a sectional tournament prior to the state tournament, I would have voted no.
We also sat down with Sean Hart, athletic director at Burlington High School.
What ends up happening is that there would be 32 teams power seeded into the tournament, and then any team that was 500 or better, like the rules are now, would get into a preliminary round game with a chance to play into the tournament. So right now, 4 different sections of the state, and there's 4 different ways to get there, 4 different means by which they get there, and 4 different amount of games that people play to win a state championship. So overall, the equity and the fairness now is going to be better for all teams in the state of Massachusetts.
We talked with members of our school to get their opinions on the new format.
Like, a lot of the fun of the tournament is getting to play in a Western Mass final game. Even compared to the state final game we played in last year, like, the atmosphere was like no other game I've ever played in. It was probably just like the most incredible sports experience I've ever had, was winning a game at the Cage. And to have that taken away is like kind of heartbreaking, I'd honestly say.
I think the new MIAA format could be problematic for Western Mass, just because competing against the Boston area schools and the Cape Cod schools could pose a challenge for us.
I mean, if we can conquer Western Mass, we can conquer Division IV state.
I think a lot of our sports programs are too small and kind of still developing. So I think that putting us in a statewide tournament really puts us at a disadvantage in that respect.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think we could. I think it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge, but if we work hard and we have the right chemistry, I think we can go as far as we want.
So how are you going to adjust to the change, for your junior season when this gets implemented?
I think this is going to motivate me to work harder, since the Boston teams are going to be a lot better and a better competition.
I encourage people to reach out, ask questions, and share their concerns.
Hi, I'm Katie.
Heartstrings magazine is a completely student-run literary magazine at NHS. Started in October 2019, it aims to showcase young writers and connect budding artists. I talked to Nina Young, the editor-in-chief of the magazine.
My name is Nina Young. I am the founder and editor-in-chief of Heartstrings magazine at Northampton High School. Heartstrings is a completely student-run magazine that celebrates the work of student writers at the high school. We publish once every quarter, so twice a semester. Over the summer, I was involved in a kind of smaller scale literary magazine. I thought that there would be a lot of people at the high school who might enjoy that kind of opportunity, especially after seeing the great turnout at the Poetry Slam last year. I wanted to bring more of that here. I think not being able to rely on someone older who maybe knows a lot more about how you make a magazine really has taught me and the other people working on it how to problem solve, of discussion at our meetings and debriefing, and we talk about what worked, what didn't work, and those things that didn't work, how are we going to fix that? So I think it has helped me to be more creative with how I solve problems. I think it definitely makes a difference to the people who submit and to the people who buy the magazine that it is student run, because it gives us a much greater degree of freedom. It wouldn't be as fun.
I also talked to Felix Welch and Dima Abu Kazem, past writers for Heartstrings.
My name is Felix. I think that when you're writing or creating any kind of art, it's important to feel like it's being received by some sort of audience, and I think lit mags can help you to feel that. I think that the student body should have an artistic voice that's separate from the school as an institution and from the staff, and I think that it helps students to communicate artistically with other students in a more clear and honest way.
My name is Dima. I think that sharing literature and writing with other people is kind of a nice way to build a community. I think having it being student run is important because you don't have the influence of the administration kind of changing things or not letting things be published because they don't think it's acceptable. And when it's student run, also you have the student perspective of what kids actually read or what teens are actually interested in, and it just makes it more interesting to people our age, I guess.
With 2 issues out and a 3rd on the way, Heartstrings needs submissions. Full guidelines can be found on @Heartstrings Magazine on Instagram. The next submission deadline is March 27th. If you'd like to submit but don't feel inspired, come to the Heartstrings Writing Workshop today after school in room 316. There will be writing prompts and snacks. To submit, email heartstringsmagazine@gmail.com. Thanks for watching.
Hey guys, welcome back to Cheap Thrills. This last week, we've been doing a lot of research in preparation for the increase in drops that come with the start of a new season.
Today, we're covering all the new sneakers and clothing drops coming in the month of March, and some that have been announced for later.
First off, let's start with what you missed.
Supreme's Spring Summer collection dropped on the 20th of February, so if you can grab anything from that, you can try and catch the resales. Otherwise, you're out of luck until their Winter Fall collection in August.
Calvin Klein released their new line this last Saturday, and we got to see a preview from Mason Margiela, who teamed up with North Face for their Fall Winter Runway show this last week. And now, on to sneakers.
Starting off with the Nike x Supreme Air Force One collab drops later today on Friday the 5th, along with 2 new colorways for the Adidas Microbounce T1s and LeBron 7 Fairfax.
Next week, the new Air Max 90 Flyees come out on Monday, sporting their new flexible heel designed to help athletes of all abilities get into their shoes quicker. And we'll also see the new Huarache Run DNA Chapter 1 pack released on the 13th.
The Dunk Lows are back with 2 new colorways, Orange Blaze and Varsity Royal, available next Saturday on the 14th.
3 new colorways from the Yeezy 350 V2s drop this month, with the Desert Sage on the 14th, the Cinder on the 21st, and the Zion still to be determined. And then the Yeezy 700 MNVN Orange colorway is announced to be released on the 28th.
With the Olympics just around the corner, the Air Max 90s are getting 3 new metallic-themed colorways with their metal pack dropping on the 26th, with gold, silver, and copper versions.
And after being delayed last month, the Yeezy 700 V3 completely blacked out Alva are planned to come out later this month with no exact date announced just yet.
Coming out in the next few months, we have a couple of companies releasing completely new stuff, with Nike's newest model, the Air Max 2090s, are set to arrive in April. And Ronnie Flegg, a designer for New Balance, teaming with unreleased new 1300 RCs. Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, that's been it for this month. If you like this kind of video, maybe let us know, and we'll see you next week.
See you guys.
Peace.
That's all for this week's episode.
Are you a student interested in traveling to Spain?
Sign up in room 201 to attend the meeting on March 11th at 2 p.m.
Contact Ms. Podell with any questions.
Thanks for watching.
We're talking about the transcript.